15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, in the lay poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here now, your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Without further ado, man, I am just so excited for tonight's episode. We are YouTube live tonight. Please join us, and we're happy for all the members of the crew that are joining us, man. This is like Christmas in May for me, man. This is a big deal, a big night for me, because of the fact that the Buffalo Bills mean so much to me, and I know they do as to my co-hosts as well. And it's just crazy, man. It's funny how the NFL just kind of takes over, and they kind of run things when it comes to the fall and the winter. And for somebody like me that travels all the way back up to Buffalo for the games, 650 miles, 1,300 round trip, it's a big deal for me for the schedule, because when the schedule comes out, I get a chance to kind of map out what the fall and winter are going to look like. I've got two of my three Kings are born in the fall. I've got Bobby in September, and then Nate right after him in October. And it just figuring out birthdays, figuring out birthday parties, and when you're going to be home and when you're not going to be home, and when does this happen, and when does this happen? When are you going up? When am I going to get a chance to see my co-host and oh man, Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. It's just a big time of year, and it's so much fun kind of going through the speculations and different things like that today on WGR. That's kind of all that today's episodes were about on all of the shows. We're just kind of trying to put the puzzle pieces together and figure out which leaks are real and which leaks are fake. Joining me live and on scene down in sunny Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, getting some well-deserved sun, my co-host, as always, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Holla at the crew, DT. Holla at
City.
The crew. What's up from Myrtle Beach? What's up, man?
City. What's up? What's up? It's a beautiful day down in South Carolina. We're down here in Myrtle Beach having a great week. Nice to get out of Buffalo for a few days, even though the weather was good up there this week. The weather was good. We're changing. I think we're all the way there. But, yeah, it's nice down here, man. We're having a good week, and I was looking forward to this day all week. There's been great playoff sports all week, but today was the day. Today was the day.
Oh, man.
I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm really, really excited because of the fact that, like I said, it's just so much of the uncertainty is kind of, it's all worked out tonight at 8:00 tonight. About a half hour ago, the NFL released their schedule again. All day today, you got some leaks, and then yesterday we had the international games that were announced, and then we started out our day today, Nickel City Group Bills Mafia, as finding out that the Bills were getting ready to go to MetLife Stadium week 1, Monday Night Football, to go battle Aaron Rodgers and the newly formed Jets, and that was going to be interesting. And then as the day just kind of progressed, more leaks and different things like that. Now, I'm not a leaker. I don't really want everything to be ruined. I want my surprise. I want everything. I want to open my present and have no idea what's in it. So you were sending some leaks, and you were getting some tips down there all the way in Myrtle Beach, DT. And I was excited because when you sent me the actual schedule, all I did was look at it for 2 seconds, and then I put it away. I got out of your name. I was like, I don't want to see this shit. I don't want anything ruined or anything like that. So now the schedule you sent me happened to be accurate and happened to be the one that everybody was kind of.
I got good sources, Rob. I got good sources.
Sources for
Adam
sure.
Schefter.
You're Schefter Jr. Down there in Myrtle Beach. But listen, man, I'm really excited about the schedule. Let's dig into it, DT, because boy, man, we found out, like I said early this morning, that the Bills are going to be going to travel to MetLife Stadium week 1 to battle the New York Jets and their newly reformed roster, and they've got their Hall of Fame future quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. And then it's just been crazy because everything just happened so fast in respects to all of the leaks that came out, and I didn't know what to believe and what not to believe. But boy, I'm really, really excited that the schedule's out. It's all official, and there's no more guessing or anything like that. So week 1, September 11th, the Bills will go to the New York Jets. We will play the New York Jets in MetLife Stadium, Monday Night Football to start the season. And boy, I couldn't be more excited about that. Before we break down all of the games and different things like that, I just wanted initial reactions. What did you think when you heard this morning, DT, about the Jets and the week 1 matchup? I mean, it's juicy. They said that, ESPN could possibly be trying to, kind of audition to the NFL for their first ever Super Bowl and maybe kind of show what they have to offer as a network. Boy, man, it said it's going to be on ESPN and ESPN2 and ESPN Plus and ESPN Deportes, and everybody's getting in on the action on this game. Week 1, Monday Night Football to start the season. Boy, I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, Rob. I mean, they were kind of talking a little bit in the early of this all of maybe the Chiefs, will open up with the Super Bowl champs, that rematch. And I didn't really want that. We did that last year. We've been on the road. I was kind of hoping for a home game, but
right,
we'll take Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I think they're going to be hyped up. They got a nice roster, Rob, and we got to shut them up early. Sauce Gardner thinks it's easy against 17. He said Josh Allen ain't nothing. Like, he's never seen, complete Josh Allen. So I think week 1, I'm excited for it. It's prime time. It deserves to be prime time. And yeah, let's see the Jets. It's on 9/11. There's going to be a lot of emotion in that building. MetLife's going to be crazy, but I think, Bills prevail. I'm not getting into predictions yet, but that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, slow your horses before we get predictions because we will.
I'll take it as week 1. I wanted a home game, but I'll take this as week 1.
Yeah, I definitely want to give predictions before the end of the show tonight, and yeah, that it's just a cool matchup. To be honest, Gotham City and the Bills going, to New York and to New Jersey, whatever the case may be, and it just seems fun. You can't really write it up any better than that. I mean, I would have enjoyed a cupcake like Washington or somebody like that to open the season. But to be honest, I love the fact that the Jets fans are full of bravado. Excuse me, they're full of themselves. They're feeling themselves right now, and rightly so. That's fine. Joe Douglas, we've talked about it before, has kind of put together a nice little roster. And listen, the rubber's getting ready to meet the road because they have high expectations and they want to go to a Super Bowl or at least further than just a playoff entrance and breaking their playoff drought that they've got there. So I'm down with it. I want to go ahead and beat up Aaron Rodgers nice and early, regardless if Von Miller is there or not, and ready to go week 1. I'm ready to get after it and see what the Bills have coming out of training camp in the preseason. So we'll see. Now, week 2, as the schedule, and we're going to find some cool trends about this schedule, DT. And one of them is that the 1:00 days are really over for the Bills. I mean, there's just not that many.
Over.
There's just not that
We're
many.
425 cats, man. We're 425 cats. Like,
it's funny because listen, we've got 1:00 it's just kind of a staple, and it's just something that we're just normally used to, and coming out to the stadium, and that's how you and I met. Out there early at the grass lots, and we're right there, California and Southwestern. We're out there early, and as the sun is coming up, everybody's getting together, throwing the football around. They're getting the grills ready. The tailgates are all coming together. The music's playing, and it's just fun because it's just a time of year where fall, winter, 1:00, Buffalo Bills. I mean, it just speaks Buffalo, and it just speaks to the Bills, and it's going to be few and far between, DT. We've got 3 straight to start the year, and then we don't have another one for a little while as the schedule kind of progresses. Week 2, the Bills host the Las Vegas Raiders at home opener. We all know that is like a holiday for Buffalo Bills fans. Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. It is like a holiday. I cannot wait. September 17th. Hosting the Raiders, man. That's a nice little opponent to start the year, man. At home, I like that home slate starting out with the Raiders. I mean, it really couldn't get much better than that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a little bit wants, you want the division rival. You want that nice opening game, but take a little pressure off you. I like Vegas coming in. Wins. I mean, it's been 8 years since they've been here.
Right.
I can't even remember them. Like, it's just hard to picture them in the stadium, like
Yeah.
the Raiders in the stadium. And yeah, exactly. Opening day is the holiday, Rob, and it'll
It
be,
is.
one of the first times we see each other on the year, I'm sure, and we're gonna
Yep.
get after it, and it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be tough for those Raiders to come into that stadium. Yeah. Obviously depending what happens the week before in prime time, but if that's a win week one, we're back, baby.
We're jacked up. And if it's a loss, we're jacked up and we're a little bit agitated, either way. So it's the home opener, man. It is like a
Yeah,
holiday. I know many.
tough one for the Vegas. They're living the pretty life out there in Vegas, and they're coming to the blue collar Buffalo. They're gonna feel that one week 2 for sure. No matter
Yeah.
what happens week 1.
You're absolutely right, man. I mean, it's funny because as we kind of get into the schedule and get into the teeth of it, the home opener really is just like a holiday. I mean, it is something that everybody looks forward to. I know a lot of people that only go to about 1 or 2 games a year, and the one game that they always circle to make sure that they're at is the home opener. They want to be there. They want to be a part of the atmosphere, and it really is an atmosphere on those days. It's just the home opener is just something special about it. The football is back, it's in the air. I always talk about it and always joke around, but my little song and football is in the air. And I mean, it just is the official marking point that Buffalo is back, football is back, the Bills are back, and there's nothing better to mark that event than the home opener, which is
Yeah.
Again, it's just an event. It really
And
is
we like it
something
1
special.
o'clock too. Back to,
Yeah,
back to normal, like the one of the few.
Yes.
This is a
Mhm.
straight up home opener. Early September, weather hopefully is good.
It's good. Yeah.
And it's a great home opener, weather wise, vibe wise. It's going to be, the 1 o'clock is where we know what we got to do.
Yes.
That's where you get the true mafia, the true Nickel City crew.
That's right.
At the 1 o'clock games, we know
That's right.
we're vets. We're vets for that.
That's right.
We'll get into everything else. But you got to watch out for us at 1 o'clock.
I like it a lot. Now, week 3, September 24th, the Bills will go to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, to take on the Commanders. And, for an opponent coming off of a home opener, if you have to go on the road again for the second time in a couple weeks, I don't really have any problems with going to face the Washington Commanders and anything like that. And that seems like a schedule where, listen, you might be able to get right. You know what I mean? You might be able to start the season off 3-0. We'll go over predictions and different things like that. But it's a situation where, listen, Sam Howell, a new quarterback out there, and with the Commanders, I don't have any problems going to Washington. I know that will be, hyped up atmosphere out there for them as well. But on the way that I'm looking at it is the Bills are a buzzsaw. We're rolling. The season has started, whether it's 0-1 to the Jets or whether it's 1-0. Regardless, by the time we go to Washington, D.C. to catch the Commanders, man, it should be full swing, man. Like, we should be in our groove, starting to see a little bit of the offense, starting to see some of the new wrinkles that Ken Dorsey has for the offense, and then obviously we've already talked about Sean McDermott running the defense. So Washington Commanders, 1:00 p.m. September 24th, week 3. I don't mind it at all, DT. I mean, let's go out there and let's go see what's going on with the Commanders.
Who's QB1 out there, Rob?
Sam Howell, man. Sam Howell, a Chapel Hill boy. He's
Sam
down here in
Howell?
North Carolina. Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Exactly.
Oh,
But
that's
by
funny.
then, week 3, get back. Yeah, they are building their roster. They do got a few guys in and out of that thing, but yeah, QB1's an issue. And if you go QB1 versus QB1, that's an easy toss up week 3. So I like it.
I like it a lot.
Get us loose, get us stretched out. A couple more preseason games. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me saying that, but I like
That's
it.
funny. A couple more preseasons. Now, week 4, the Bills will travel back home to Buffalo to host the Miami Dolphins, who, to be honest, they have given us good fights these last couple of years, to be honest. And last year in particular, with the 3 matchups, I mean, every single one of those matchups, DT, were close. They were closely contested. Including the playoff game where we were surprised by the fact that, we've got, a rookie quarterback and Skylar Thompson, and he's out there trying to, will his team to a victory. And it just was a weird year for the Bills Dolphins. And, with the first game and the IV game and Stephon Diggs is falling out and all the players are falling out, and Stephon Diggs got double IVs and guys are going crazy in that heat, to, the actual game here in Buffalo, which it was picturesque. I mean, the snowfall and everything was just kind of perfect for that game. They have played us tough, man. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, when he could stay healthy. They're kind of a matchup that the Bills have had some problems with, and it'll be interesting to see. But week 4, the Dolphins coming to town October 1st, 1:00 again, a nice little 1:00 game for the Bills. That'll be their third straight. I like it, man. I mean, there's nothing about this schedule so far that I don't like. I mean, listen, bring them on into town. I know that normally we go down to Miami to start the year, and then the Bills fans like the fact that the Dolphins come to us late in the year when it's cold and snowy. But I don't mind switching up this year. Bring them to town. Let's see what's going on with Tua. Let's see how his line is protecting him, because obviously the key to their success is going to be how long he can stay upright.
Yeah, and we talk early in the season. Can't be throwing snowballs like we were last year.
That's not
ripping snowballs. But Rob, like you said, they played us tough in that game at home. We're down 8 in the fourth quarter, and Josh Allen literally has to go Superman mode to win that thing. So, 100%. This is a must-win game at home. Against the divisional opponent. I don't mind it. Selfishly, I've been telling you about this. And oh my boys, we got to get to Miami. Like, I want to go to Miami for these games, and it's always so early. It's too hot down there and whatnot. And the Bills have felt that now. Let's take them at home early. A nice September game again. Get back with the boys. Get back in the grass lot, and we don't got to put 18 layers on. So the fish will be comfortable. We'll be comfortable, and like you said, the lead of this schedule, I think this team's going to have a lot of confidence going into this Miami game at home. So I like this. I like this playing them late away, playing them here early.
Yeah, man. I do like it as well. I think the matchup works out well for week 4. Again, October 1st, 1:00. So we're back to those 3 straight 1:00 games for the Bills. And then everything starts to get a little bit hairy for the Buffalo Bills, to say the least. Now, we will go across the pond week 5, October 8th. We'll head across the pond to our British buddies over there. And listen, we are going to go play.
Buddies.
Yeah, we're going to go play the Jacksonville Jaguars, who might as well be called the London Jaguars. They'll be the first team ever to stay back-to-back weeks in London. They'll be playing over there the week prior. I don't know who they're playing. And then I think it's the Titans or somebody like that. And then they'll come up and play us. I think it's the Falcons. And then they play us the following week, week 5, October 8th, 9:30 a.m. DT. Now we are going to have to get our breakfast game on. We are going to have to get our breakfast game on. Eggs Benedict. You need your tea and crumpets. You need everything ready for that one. 9:30. Don't oversleep it, Bills Mafia. Don't oversleep it, Nickel City Crew, because you could miss it. That one you'll have to get up for. It'll have to be a concerted effort. But 9:30 a.m., man, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, the interesting thing about that, right? Yes, the interesting about that is that that's the stadium that the Bills kind of have looked at, for their stadium renderings, and have looked at for some of their inspiration for the new Buffalo Bills Stadium, which will again, they just broke ground. You saw that on our Instagram. Thurman Thomas was there for the groundbreaking ceremony. 2026 will be here before you know it. But in the meantime, whoever wants to see this game will have an idea, at least a loose idea, of what the stadium will look like, what a feel of it will be. Again, they're promising 65% of the stadium will be covered by this half canopy. We're going to see what it's all like and what it kind of looks like from the outside and from the inside on TV, at least if you're not over there in person. But 9:30 a.m., Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the Jaguars and the Bills, man. I mean, good day, mate.
Hey, good day, mate, for sure. I know a lot of people going out to this one. I won't be attending. If it was the Broncos, my roommate, shout out Zach Lubai, roommate, big Broncos fan, we might have thought about it, but not going to London this year. And 9:30 English Premier League prime time.
yes,
that's prime time.
You got to be up, man. You do
Tottenham's
not want
got one of the best.
You do not want to hit it too hard Saturday night, man.
Exactly,
you can miss it. You can miss
get
that
up
game
early.
easily.
And that's 4 weeks in a row of those early games, but like you said, kegs and eggs, mimosas, baby.
Mimosas, yes.
So think of that, Rob. If we're at the tailgate, if we're at the grass lots at for a 1:00 game, we're there
at 7,
winter,
no later than 7.
No later than 7
no
before
later.
the security guards even get there.
Yes.
For a 9:30 game, that's what, 6 hours, right?
Yes.
7 hours.
Yeah,
7 hours. So that puts us at the lots at 2:30 a.m. for this,
yes,
for the London game.
Yeah, I don't think
I can't promise you that, Nickel City. I can't promise you that, but it's at least going to be 7.
Oh my goodness gracious! I mean, you are not lying about that. That morning will be something interesting for me as well. Again, make sure that you do not hit it too hard on Saturday night, because you could blink and it could be the fourth quarter and you're wondering what the hell's going on because you missed the entire game. It is over in London, 9:30 a.m. Jaguars at the host Bills. Technically, we are the host team for that matchup against the Jaguars. Now, a week later, now again, after you get back from London, a lot of teams can request their bye week if they want it. The Bills have elected to pass on that opportunity. Their bye week is not until later in the year, as we'll get to. So it's interesting. Right after the early game, in London, we come back week 6, October 15th, against the New York Giants. Primetime TV, 8:20 at night. Man, I mean, Sunday night football, DT, man. This is the start of a little bit of a run for the Bills where it's like, what is going on? Like, we must be a main attraction. The Giants, Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen, everybody coming back to the Bills, to the scene of the crime, man. I mean, it's the mentor, it's the mentee. I mean, it's everybody is coming back, man. Everybody gets a chance to kind of hash out their differences. I'm a Daboll guy, you know that. I've been a Daboll guy. I mean, listen, I think that we kept the wrong coach. It's fine. The Pegulus were never going to fire Brian Daboll, as we talked about last season. However, I'm lamenting the fact that he's gone. It looks like he's running a nice program out there in the Meadowlands. And listen, they're here. They're in town. Sunday night football under the lights, man. 8:20, October 15th, week 6. I like the matchup, man. I mean, this is the teacher and the student, man. What do y'all want, man? I mean, all of the narratives are right there for you. They call the Giants Bills Jr. Like, I mean, everything is right there for you for the taking in this one. You can pick any narrative you want.
That's Sunday night? Yeah.
Sunday night football, man. October 15th. It's nice, man. At home.
First home game. We kind of tasted that with the Packers on Halloween last year, right? The NFC Sunday night game. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't see another opponent I'd like more in that situation. And like you said, that's a test right there. That's a test for sure.
Yes.
And a game that can get overlooked, Sunday night. I think you open up how the season should start. Even if the Giants are having a good year, the Bills are opening up a touchdown favorite in that game. Pretty much no matter what.
Okay.
Is what I would say. But that's a tough, the Giant Daboll wants to get his. He wants to get his, like you said. So
yeah,
that's a matchup.
It is.
That's a matchup for sure,
man. I mean, I don't know how much,
but I think Bills are a touchdown favorite in that one. Really, no matter what happens in the first, other than the Bills going over and then everything in between. But I think the Bills open that one over a touchdown, and that's a matchup you definitely can't overlook. But going to be an exciting one for the first night game of the year. Get in there. It's we're going to have to get used to these tailgating times and whatnot. But
absolutely longer tailgates for sure. Like it'll be interesting. October 15th, right in the middle of October, and it'll be interesting just because just the whole Brian Daboll, man. Like it's just the Bills are a great team and they've run a great program, and Brian Daboll was a part of that. Some of Josh Allen's success has to be directly linked to Brian Daboll. If you don't want to give him credit, that's up to you. I mean, if you want to put everything on Josh and say that he did everything on his own, then I think you're being a little bit naive. Part of Brian Daboll's job when he first got here was reining in a wild horse. I watched the Kentucky Derby last week, DT, and those jockeys are on those horses and they're trying to get them to do a certain thing. And that's kind of how it was with Josh Allen. He had a low completion percentage at Wyoming, and he was full of raw traits and different things like that. Brian Daboll has a lot to do with the success of him coming into the league and being into the superstar stardom that he's in now. So I'm excited to see, Brian Daboll come back home and to see what he's got for the Bills. It'll be a great matchup, primetime TV. I'm definitely looking, and I'll have all eyes on, Sean McDermott to see what he does in that game. Now, week 7, October 22nd, a week later, the Bills will travel to Foxborough for the first time. 1:00, and that is the last one for a while for the 1:00s. Bills Mafia Nickel City crew. That is it for a while. The Bills travel to Gillette Stadium, 1:00 p.m., October 22nd. That is week 7 to go against, I guess, Mac Jones and Bill Belichick and whoever else they're thinking of bringing out against this, man. It'll be interesting because I don't have a lot of faith in the Patriots. I know that they're projected as 4th in the AFC East this coming up year. It'll be interesting, man. Week 7, we should know a little bit more about our team by then. Same thing for the Patriots. I mean, nowhere to hide on that one. Go on the road. We've dominated that team. We've controlled pretty much every game that we've played against them these last couple of years. It'll be interesting to see how we handle that matchup.
Yeah, with really not a lot of test up until then. You know, when you go into Foxborough and Bill Belichick, and we're scarred, Rob. The old guard is scarred. We're never going in there and overlooking.
Yes.
Even if, you know, no matter who's their quarterback, no matter what's
Yes.
going on, you're never overlooking the Patriots and Belichick.
Yes.
It's just part of in our blood. You know,
It is in our DNA.
Trauma.
Yes.
It's traumatic.
Yes.
But going
Tons
in
of
there
scar tissue.
might be, you know, with not a lot of tests on the schedule. That's a divisional game. You got to go in and take care of it. That's a very business trip-esque situation, you know, at that point in the season. What are we at, week 7?
Yeah, that's week 7. Mm-hmm.
Week 7, you know, so, you know, hopefully 5-2, or hopefully 6-1. That stretch, and so this game is one of those wins, either way you put it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, 1 o'clock, that'll be the last 1 o'clock game for a little while for us, and something that we have grown accustomed to during the drought. And now that we are the marquee, it really kind of just changes up. The Bills week 8, October 26th, that's a Thursday night, will be the first of 3 straight 8 o'clock games and the first of 5 straight, at least 4 o'clock games. So let us break it down. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to Buffalo 8:15 Thursday night. That's usually an Amazon Prime game now that Amazon took over the Thursday night package. I mean, wow, man. I mean, that's such a great opponent just because of the party. I want a party. Anytime there's a night game, I'm looking for a party. I'm looking for fun. I'm looking for everybody to have a great time. Like you talked about, the tailgate is pushed back a little bit later, but then the true fans like us, we still show up at that max time. We're showing up 6 hours early, 5 hours early, 7 hours early if we can get into that lot there at the grass lots. We are out there. We're ready to go. You know, I'm frying a turkey. You know, I'm doing a pulled pork. I'm doing a pork shoulder. I'm doing something for those games, those night games. Those night games are so fun to see the Bills under the lights. And I just love the night games just because of the fact that it just puts us under the spotlight where there's not many other games on. Most of the time when it's those primetime games, you're the only show in town. Every now and again, you'll get a Monday Night Football that'll be a doubleheader, but most of the time when you're on those Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, you are the marquee show. And I'm so excited about those games because they highlight Buffalo, especially when they're at home. The Bucks, man, coming to Buff, man, coming to Orchard Park. October 26th, week 8, DT. I mean, I'm down with it. What is that, Blank? I don't even know who plays quarterback. Kyle Trask. I mean, Baker Mayfield. It's all good, man. Give it to me in doses. I'm down for a night game against the Bucks, man. I'm down for all of it. Bring me all that smoke. I'm down.
3 words. Paid time off. Paid time off. And that's a Thursday, Friday. Paid time off all day. That's a nice little long weekend for the Mafia right there. That's a nice little long weekend for the Mafia right there. You go in, you got the Bucks. You kidding me? Now that Tom Brady's gone, you got, like you said, Baker Mayfield, who, I mean, I'll admit, I got a video out there after the playoff game when we lose to Jacksonville saying I wanted Baker Mayfield to get drafted, and then they draft Josh Allen. I was fine still with it, but Baker Mayfield, come on, man. Come on. Pick number 1 overall. It's your third team. No, the Bucks had Brady, and that was their chance. So I like that. PTO, nice long weekend for the Mafia in Nickel City.
Yeah, man, you get a chance to enjoy the weekend games for sure, starting everything off on that Thursday night. Now, the next week, boy, will that be something emotional and something crazy. You talk about scene of the crime, like we're right back to where everything really started. And I'm just so excited, so happy that Damar Hamlin has been cleared, so happy that he's going to continue to pursue his football dreams. Again, there are no medical restrictions that have been put on Damar Hamlin. He is coming back to the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, he'll have an uphill battle to make the team, and I don't know about his status and different things like that. But in the safety room, he might have a shot to still make the team. Week 9, November 5th, 8:20 at night. It's the Bills Bengals. We will try this again. Sunday Night Football, again, one of those primetime games where you are the main show, you are the main attraction. Nothing better than that, man. I mean, listen, some people I heard, some people on WGR, Joe DiBiase wanted the Bengals early in the year because he wanted to get that taste out of his mouth from the playoffs and stuff like that. I have no problem with these guys. Smack dab in the middle. You've got Von Miller back, hopefully by that time. You've got all of your guys are pretty much firing on all cylinders, hopefully. Obviously, again, injuries aside. I love it, man. Like week 9, that's a perfect spot, middle of the season, smack dab in the middle. Let's go get it, man. Listen, the Bengals were up on us 7-3 when Damar Hamlin went down. Then obviously the tragedy happened, and then he's okay. So obviously it's a story that we can all celebrate now that he's okay. The playoff game, we don't need to go back over that tonight because how shitty that was. So listen, the Bengals have kind of had our number. To be honest, they have kind of had our number. They are not scared of the Bills. They are not intimidated by us. They came into our house and handed it to us, out-coached us. I heard some stuff about that as well this week on WGR, and people don't really want to talk about. Listen, we were out-coached. Not only were we outplayed, and some people want to say that we were out of gas that day, we were also out-coached. Sean McDermott was out-coached clearly by Zach Taylor that day. Go back to Paycor Stadium. Go figure it out. Go get your revenge, man. We'll play the revenge opening on that one, DT. I mean, it's payback week, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking all year about Sean McDermott not having any excuses now that he's
yes.
on the
yes.
defense. Well, this is no excuses now, right? We're week 9. There's a lot of teams you can beat early on in this schedule to come into this Bengals game where it's no hiding there. There's
right.
no hiding. It's right up. There's no excuses, and you got to be ready by week 9. It was too early. It was too late. There was injuries. Week 9, your team should be pretty much like you said, prime and intact. Von Miller should be back.
Yeah.
And you take care of business. No excuses. No place to hide in that game. So it's going to be a tall tale. A tall tale sign. We'll either take care of it and okay, we cross that hurdle, or they get us again and you know how GR is going to react to that, and the Mafia is going to react to that. It's going to be panic.
You know
panic.
how my
Even
black ass is going to react to
that.
You know
even
how
if it's the first loss of the season, we're talking the panic button everywhere.
God,
but no excuse game, straight up. I like it in that spot because it couldn't be more clear. You win this or you lose this, and there's no excuses any way you put it.
Yeah, man, there's definitely nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide for McDermott, nowhere to hide for Ken Dorsey or anything like that. So you get a chance to see what's what, and hopefully, again, both squads are full and healthy and ready to go because I don't want any caveats. I don't want to hear about cleats anymore. I don't want to hear about footing, and I just don't want to hear about any more excuses about what is going on and what was the problem every time you play the Bengals. I understand that Damar Hamlin was an anomaly, but boy, you have an opportunity to go out there and kind of snatch back some of your respectability because, boy, I mean, the Bengals came in and they really did take it to us. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. Now, the third straight primetime game, week 10. We are still not even to the bye week yet. November 13th, the Bills will battle the Broncos right at home. Again, another game where, I mean, it's primetime. Everything is happening. Monday Night Football at home against the Broncos. I mean, 3 straight weeks, DT. You have to be a team that is in the limelight for you to get 3 straight primetime games. The Bills do that here. Russell Wilson coming to town. Maybe he'll bring Sierra with him, maybe not. But boy, I know that they've got to travel all the way across the country. Monday Night Football, November 13th, week 10 against the Broncos, man. Let's go, man. Let's ride. as Rusty would say, let's ride.
Yeah, I mean, another PTO type of situation. This was probably anybody other.
Be careful, man. They got Sean Payton now. You better be careful.
Yep, I'd be taking off. I probably might not be going to this game, but because it's the Broncos again, I got to shout out the roommate Zach Lubai here. We're coming at you, boy. You think it was a fluke last year of Russell Wilson? You think it was a fluke of, they were no good, but they're going to come back. Sean Payton's nice. I don't think their roster is decent all the way around, but we hope they're not as good as they should be. And this just continues a nice home stomping, similar to the Titans home opener in Monday night last year. It happens. They come in, take care of business. It's a long flight back to elevation in Denver. Look out, Broncos. That's a prime time beat because any way you put it, you either beat the Bengals the week before and you're juiced, or you lose, and this is the back on track game. So Broncos are screwed in this one.
That's funny. Shout out to Seth Brown, Holland. He did say that the Giants spread is off the books right now at Bills -7. And then again, shout out to our boy Noah Go. He says 5 1 o'clock games out of 17. WTF. I mean, Noah, this is you are in a different category now, man. You just stepped up. You got yourself a franchise quarterback. This is how they live, man. This is how we live, man. It's like MTV Cribs. Welcome to my crib. This is how we live now, man. I mean, those 1 o'clock games are just not they're just not on the menu as much, man. So that'll be funny. It'll be interesting to see. Sean Payton, obviously, they paid Russell Wilson all that money. So they'll see if they get a return on their investment. Monday Night Football, November 13th, again, week 10. Now, after that, again, 5 straight weeks of at least no 1 o'clock games. So 425, the Bills will get a chance to play at home against the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Rodgers in the neighborhood, as I talked about before, 4:25 p.m. That'll be interesting, man. November 19th, that's a Sunday right after the Monday night game. Man, he's coming to town. Like, we have to have something special for Mr. Rodgers. I mean, like, I loved when the Packers came to town. I loved the Bakari Rambo game 8 years ago or whatever it was. That was a fun game to be at. Jordy Nelson drops that big touchdown pass. And then, I mean, it was just fun last year. I mean, last year I had no problems. Now, the funny thing about it was that's when our Bills started acting weird on offense, was right around that Green Bay game, DT. You know I'm not lying about that. The offense was acting fucking weird, and it was really, really hard to get a grasp on it. And we kind of rode that thing out all the way through the Bengals game in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is in the neighborhood. We have to welcome him to the AFC East, man. This is not Green Bay. This is not the NFC North, man. We have to welcome him to Green Bay. We have to welcome him to the AFC East, man. I mean, we have to give him a nice, hearty welcome.
He's never won. He's never won in the stadium.
Really? I guess not, man. I know 8 years ago was Bakari Rambo, and I remember that game and how much fun I had. I think that was a Monday night game.
Marcel Darius.
Yeah. I think that was a Monday night game or something like that.
And then they hit him on Halloween last year.
Yep, we were there for that one.
No,
yep.
I don't think they've won.
Okay.
I don't think he's won because it would have been 8 years before that. He hasn't been in the league that long.
Yeah, I get you might be right. Might be right.
All right. Well, hopefully that stays true in this matchup, and that's a lot's going to do with the week 1 matchup, and it's going to directly correlate. But like to shout out real quick to my brother-in-law Derek and my mother Shelly. My phone was dying, and we're back here in the rental house. They got me hooked up.
What's up, brother? What's up?
We'll show them at the end of the broadcast here. But yeah, they got me hooked up. We're plugged in. We can finish the show. So shout out to them, and yeah, Jets are going down in this home matchup.
Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see because I know that the Bills, the Jets, it's a budding rivalry. To be honest with you, they are the team. The Jets are the team that have played Buffalo well. To be honest, they've had really good success against the Bills. Robert Salah, he's had a good game plan against the Bills. Obviously, Josh Allen suffers his little elbow injury during that game. So, obviously we know that they're not going to be scared of us or anything like that. We'll see them week 1. And then after that, we'll see how it works out because it'll be later in the season again. Week 11, November 19th, the Jets come to Buffalo, 4:25. Now, another 4:25 tilt right after that before the Bills bye week. Week 12, November 26th, we will go to play the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles, 4:25. Again, a late afternoon game, prime time in that respect. That afternoon window where all the eyes are on those few games in the afternoon, man. Listen, right before the bye week, the Eagles, there's no better test for you to come out of a bye, to go into a bye, than the way that the Bills have a bookend with the Chiefs and the Eagles. Eagles first before the bye, then the Chiefs afterwards. But boy, week 12, November 26th, Eagles, man. I mean, that's a good litmus test. At least we'll put it like that. That's a really good litmus test. How are you going? How is your season going? You're going to really find out a lot of answers about your team by that game.
Yeah, grit nose football, baby. 4:25. What we never thought we'd get into, and that's all week. They're saying Jim Nantz, Tony Romo aren't going to be on a lot of Bills games, was because I guess they're playing 4:25 and not in that slot anymore. But yeah, the Super Bowl NFC champions last year. That roster, I think, is the best in the NFL. Rob, top to bottom.
They're really good, man.
They are good, and that's a tough one on the road. Philly fans are similar to the Mafia, and they don't take no shit, and that's going to be a battle. 4:25. That's not a little trot though, for Mafia to come down, for maybe come up from Charlotte. Who knows? Who knows what that Philly game looks like? But I think that's going to be a nice one. No matter which way you put it, your 425 is. I like that slot. It's like it's not prime time, but it is. It's all our lives. The best teams played at 425. Here we are.
Yeah. There you are. You're absolutely right. You got those 1 o'clock games, and then the afternoon games. There's only normally about 3 or 4 of them, and they definitely put some of those primetime matchups, one on Fox, one on CBS. So we'll see. The Bills at Eagles, Week 12, November 26th. Again, it'll be an interesting matchup. You have a great litmus test as you enter the bye week. Again, as I alluded to earlier, after the bye week, you come out another great test, a familiar foe, somebody that we are very used to seeing, whether it be regular season, postseason, it does not matter. Patrick Mahomes, formerly the boogeyman. He is not the boogeyman to me anymore, but formerly the boogeyman. We go to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs, Week 14, December 10th. That'll be, man, I mean, anytime you match up with that guy, it's just something crazy that could happen. Anytime that you match up with them, that could happen where they could beat you. You could beat them. You've seen us handle them before, that you've seen them handle us. You've seen us lose in a fluky way. You've seen them win in a fluky way. What is it like, man? I mean, coming out of a bye week, those are really 2 good games. I mean, that might be my circle on the calendar, man, will be those 2 games right around bookending the bye week, man. The Chiefs on the road, Arrowhead, 4:25 p.m., man. I don't know, man. I love playing against those guys because I love, iron sharpens iron, DT, and sometimes you have to go up against the best. You got to beat the best. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Going to play the defending champs, man, on the road at their house. I'm sure everybody's going to be primed up for that game.
2 points on this one, Rob. The one being, if you had the team on your schedule where you're literally going to be, this is the top game. The Bengals are close second, but the Chiefs are your biggest rival at this point. You have to beat them to win the Super Bowl. They've proven that, and they continue to. Obviously, winning last year, knocking us out of the playoffs the 2 years before that. You have to beat them to win the Super Bowl. So what would be the best spot to have them after the bye, right? Yeah. After the bye would be ideally, this is ideal.
Everybody's well rested.
Ideal situation.
Yeah.
Why, if you had to pick any week this season to face the Chiefs, it'd be after the bye, and it is. After a tough game with the Eagles, so I think that's going to sharpen them up, even if they're getting dull at that point. That Eagles game sharpens them up. The bye week gets them even sharper, and ideal to see the Chiefs after that. Point 2 is Sean McDermott after a bye, pretty much unbeatable. That means Josh Allen after a bye, pretty much unbeatable. So ideal situation to see the boogeyman, if you will, in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting because, I mean, you can't hide, you can't run from them or anything like that. So you better be ready to play them, and you better be ready to take down their weapons again. It's funny because, the year that they lose Tyreek Hill, we're all wondering and we're all pontificating and how are we going to figure out how to take care of them? Is it going to take care of their offense? Is their offense going to be shitty now? And boy, they didn't miss a beat. They won the whole thing last year. So, I mean, it was remarkable, to be honest. And, to win a Super Bowl, you need a little bit of luck. They got some luck as well last year, but boy, they're a great team. Anytime that they have 15, they're going to be in the game. They're going to have an opportunity to win. And it'll be interesting because, I mean, he's not the boogeyman to me anymore because I have seen the Bills beat him. But he's a tough cookie. I was wrong, DT. I mean, another 425 games. So we've got 4 straight 425 games, let alone all the night games. We got
425 cats.
We are 425 cats, like you said, man. The Bills on December 17th, Week 15, we will host the Cowboys. I mean, them boys. I mean, the Cowgirls. Listen, it's always fun. I'll never forget that Monday Night Football game against Tony Romo and the 6 turnovers, and I couldn't believe we lost, and I was at that game. I'll never forget that game. It's just such crazy memories of that Monday Night Football game. Boy, man, we are right in the thick of things, man. Week 15, December 17th, right before Christmas, the Bills will host the Cowboys at the stadium. And, I mean, it's another situation where you've got another opponent coming in with high expectations for themselves. It's up to you to kind of, answer the bell, man. Hey, where are you? Who do you want to be? What do you want this season to be? There's nowhere to hide on the schedule for the Bills, to be honest. I think they said the Bills have like the third hardest schedule in the league this year. So there's nowhere for you to duck this year. And I've been warning Bills Mafia. I've been warning Nickel City Crew. There's really nowhere for anybody to hide. Nowhere to hide for McDermott. Nowhere to hide for Ken Dorsey or anybody like that. Same thing with the opponents on the schedule. This schedule will be tough. This will not be a 16-1 season or anything like that. So you shouldn't think that way. You shouldn't be setting your expectations that way. Manage your expectations. Understand that this is a really, really hard schedule. I mean, December 17th, week 15, the Cowboys come to town. They're going to try to put on a show. They're going to try to put on a good test for the Bills, man. I mean, what do you think, DT? This is a crazy schedule, man. The schedule is crazy.
I can't believe it's already been 8 years since the Cowboys played here last time. And Keelan Moore, he got fired now, but Keelan Moore was their quarterback.
Kellen Moore, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was, sorry, Kellen Moore. He was it was cold, it was rainy. My man Brandon Morgan's the next seat next to me literally looked at me and goes, I lost my motor skills. It's so cold. Like he couldn't move his hands or his food. And that was the last Cowboys game I remember, and that's already been 8 years. So, time flies, I guess, in this league. And last time was the Thanksgiving game we had him, and Josh Allen took care of him. So it's a nice matchup. I'm glad to have him at home. That's got trap game written all over it. If that's an away game with the roster they got. And Michael Parsons trying to wreak havoc, and Dak Prescott is mediocre as he is, and Tony Pollard and the whole rest of that gang is going to come in. They're going to be in the race at that point in the NFC with the Eagles and whatnot too. So that's as much as it's an NFC, kind of whatever game. It's both teams are going to be fighting for that, hopefully that number one seed at that point in the season. So it's going to be a big one. I'm glad 425 get a little more eyes on it, and we'll see what happens, but. That's going to be a pivotal matchup, even though it's NFC. It's late in the season. Both these teams will be fighting for that one.
Yeah, it will be. It will be interesting for sure because, like I said, like you just talked about, everybody's got expectations. Everybody has things that they want to get accomplished. Dallas, obviously, those fans are just insufferable. They always think that they're on the cusp of the Super Bowl. Always think they're on the cusp of winning the NFC East and all this other stuff. So, by that time of the year, I'm sure that everybody will be in full swing, and Stephen A. Smith on ESPN making fun of the Cowboys and all this other stuff. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see right before the holidays roll around. The Cowboys will come to town. So after that, the season is starting to wrap up. 3 games left. It's funny how the schedule works out because, I mean, as Bills have been home, away, that kind of thing for a little while now. We go on the road to LA to play the Chargers, DT. And would you know it, it's another primetime game, 8 o'clock on Saturday, December 23rd. So that's Christmas Eve. And I know that they announced the Christmas games today and then the Christmas Eve games. Most everybody plays. Then they select a few teams to play on that actual Saturday. Bills, of course, were picked to play on that Saturday. So it won't mess with anybody's Christmas plans too much or Christmas Eve plans or anything like that. But the Bills at the Chargers, week 16, 8 o'clock p.m. from SoFi Stadium. What a beautiful stadium that is. Man, I mean, we don't get a break, man. Like we are the marquee, DT, like dump truck. We are the marquee. Another primetime game as the season starts to wane down, man. 8 o'clock, December 23rd, Christmas Eve.
Another beautiful long weekend for the Mafia.
Yes, Christmas.
I mean, we talk. Everyone's out of work Friday. You get into Christmas weekend Saturday. What are you doing before Christmas Eve? It's kind of a dud day. Not anymore. 8 p.m. game day. You get it. You get started with the Bills game. You get into Christmas Eve Sunday, and then Christmas Day on Monday. Everybody's going to be off all those days. It's going to be a nice long weekend, and hopefully at that point in the season, this game means a lot for that one seed. So Herbert, I don't think they're going to be mediocre again as much as they have been. I don't think they're going to be mediocre again. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. The Bills have played so far so good in SoFi Stadium. And late in the year, 8 p.m. Friday, I like this. Last year was that Dolphins game where, the home game where they were throwing the snowballs and everything.
Not us, not Nickel City Crew.
That won't be happening in That won't be happening in SoFi, right, Rob? But
no
snowballs.
I
like another nice long weekend. That's going to be great. You get out of work Friday. What's Saturday? Oh, it's game day. And then what's next? Christmas. Let's go.
Yeah, Christmas right after that, man. It'll be fun. It'll be fun for sure. I mean, the Bills go to LA and everybody's back home for Christmas. I know that the players and their families were separate last year with the whole Buffalo storm and being in Chicago, and Chicago had a windstorm and everything like that. So I know that they missed some of Christmas. So I know that the players will be happy to be home for the holidays. Now, last 2 weeks of the season, we have New Year's Eve, week 17. We are back at the Ralph. 1 o'clock, something we're used to. 1 o'clock against the Patriots. I love it. I love it. I love it. It looks like it'll probably be the last one of the year because the week 18 game is still to be determined in respects to the time for week 18. So Patriots at Bills at the Ralph. What's good, DT? I will see you early. Yep. It is New Year's Eve. We are getting ready to ring in the new year that next day. Yep. It's crazy to think that 2024 will be here before you know it, but that's the way that it is, man. Week 17, New Year's Eve, Patriots at the Bills, man. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go. I mean, this is business trip. This is business trip top to bottom here. Hopefully, I dare to say this, that not the season's wrapped up by then, but this is a game where if you need it, you'd like to have it coming in at home. It's going to be a tough one for Mac Jones and the boys. With this schedule and this type of stakes that are going to be facing this team week in and week out, there's no way they're not ready for this game. They're not resting starters by now. Even if they got the 1 seed locked up, they're still playing this week. Tough one for Belichick and the boys. And yeah, we'll be there. 1 o'clock. It'll be, we're going to start celebrating these 1 o'clock games, right? So it's the last one. We'll see it for a while. And we'll celebrate that. That'll be a good one you always get up for a Patriots game and at home. And
absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Week 18. It is still, again, to be determined for week 18. The Bills will go to Hard Rock Stadium to battle the Dolphins. Again, we shouldn't have to worry too much about the heat being a factor and playing such a large factor like it did last year's game with, I refer to it as the IV game, like I said before. The Bills at the Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium, week 18. Again, those times are still kind of getting worked out on the dates. NFL's introduced some flex scheduling and different things like that. They've always had flex scheduling, but now they've even rolled it out to Monday night games, and they've rolled it out to Thursday night games, and they've rolled it out to later in the season. So we don't really know who we're going to play. We know that it'll be the weekend of January 6th, 7th, or 8th, and you just kind of figure it out from there. Nobody plays on Thursday that last week, so I don't know when we're going to play the Dolphins, but we're going to go down and play the Dolphins, DT, and sometime we're going to go finish up our season. Week 18, Bills at Dolphins, man. At least it won't be that hot, man. At least the players won't be falling out like they were last time.
Yeah, go call up any grandparents, any friends that have grandparents that are snowbirding down there and shack up, baby. This is what I've been asking for years. I love Miami, one of my favorite cities in the world, and I wanted to go to this game for a long time, and I hope this game doesn't mean anything at this point in the season, Rob, but I'm calling it now. Nickel City, Miami Beach. Let's do it.
On location. Okay,
I'm down with it. Let's get down to the strip, down to Giovanni Versace's for a little filet mignon. Whatever you need, Rob. We out there. Okay. I like this game to end the year. I hope it doesn't mean anything, but I think we got to get down there, man. I've been wanting it.
Oh man, that is too funny. It's funny, I have never been to the Bills Dolphins game. I know that it is just an event, and you see all the pictures and you see how we just take over, and it's way worse than Tennessee or anything like that. And I'm always proud to see when the Bills are down there and to see, them taking over it, but I have never experienced it myself. So I mean, I would just put me down. I'll put a little bucket in the hat. Like, all right, I mean, put me down. I'm down to do it for sure. On location, Nickel City Crew live from South Beach. I mean, I would love to put on. I would love to put on some shorts. Yeah, I would love to take it from Charlotte down to Miami. That would be really fun. It would be something to experience because every single time we play them in Miami, it literally is a takeover. The stadium seems to be 60-40 or 70-30 Bills. It really is just a sight to watch, especially if the Bills are taking over and they're winning the game. Then all the Miami fans leave, and it literally is just literally Bills Mafia on the road, man. It feels like the Ralph all over again. So it should be so much fun. Give me a prediction, DT. I know that it's hard on the spot. Shout out again, Seth Brown. He says 12-5, take the East, headed to the postseason healthier and more consistent than last season. I mean, he also, sticks in there that Bachelor JA-17 on a warpath, which is funny because I just heard about that. I did not know that Josh and his lady apparently broke up, but Man, a motivated man, a motivated, a scoring man. That might be something where we might have an MVP season on our hands, man. I have no idea, but I'm going to be interested to see. Give me a
Okay.
prediction, DT, on the record.
Wow.
17 games. Do the math right. Give me a prediction
On the spot.
on the spot.
13-4, Rob.
Oh
13-4.
my God! I got it.
It's got to be. If you want a ring, it's 13-4. If you want a parade, it's 13-4.
Oh my goodness! I want a parade. I have to be
Then
the
it's
number
got to
one
be
seed.
13-4. Then
Okay.
it's got to be 13-4.
Wow, DT, we will have so much more time to chew on that one. It's got to be 13-4. Man, I will say that the Bills will go 12-5. I like that. I like that conservative bet. You already know that I'm more conservative, so I want to stick to the conservative side. So I'll stick with Seth on this one. 12-5 sounds like a nice, good number. It's obtainable. It's not too haughty of a number to go after, man. Listen, as the schedule stacks up, there's just a lot of tough games on there. You know, the Bills are always good to lose one of those weird games that you never thought that they would lose. Last year was the Jets, you know, when Zach Wilson beat us. Or, you know, listen, always going to be some weird games in the season. It always happens that way. But I mean, wow. 13-4, okay, no problem. I'm not gonna get mad at you, man. It's way too early in the offseason. We haven't got the training camp yet, so I'm not gonna cuss you out on anything, man. You take your 13-4, and we'll see what's going on with it, man. I love it, man. I love the schedule. I love the way that it laid out. Again, this is like Christmas for me, for sure. And I appreciate you, man, down in Myrtle Beach, taking the time out of your night, DT, to join us, man. I love it, man. Holla at the crew, man. Tell us what's up. I appreciate you, man.
Like you said, man, it's beautiful to be down here, beautiful to be rocking, and I love the schedule release. Love the schedule release. It's one of the best days.
Yes.
I remember it every year, and
Yes.
counting all those games up and counting the wins, counting the losses, and just like I said, planning the long weekends, planning the extra days, and just envisioning that time. And like, oh, nice. Next week we got these guys on Monday night. Then we got them at 4:25. Then this matchup. It's the best, Rob. It's the best.
Yeah, it is, man. I can't wait to see you, man. I will see you September 17th, if not that weekend. You know what I mean? Sometime earlier that weekend, but I will see you for sure by September 17th when the Raiders come to the Bills week 2. It should be fun, man. I mean, it'll be fun. I'll probably throw a little party, fry a turkey or something like that for the home opener, you know, put some wings out, you know, do something fun for that Monday night. I'll play Monday Night Football theme song 1,000 times on my speaker in the garage. I'll play it 1,000 times, and then after that, man, I'll be heading up 77, man, to come up to Buff, man. I'll be meeting up with you before you know it, DT. Blink an eye, man. I'll be up there before you know it, man.
Garoppolo,
Jimmy G, yes. The porn star Jimmy G.
I got a charcoal grill down here in Myrtle Beach at our house, and we fired it up, and it literally hit me, and I said, "Wow, this literally just brings me right back to Bills game."
Yes.
Like, you get out of the car, you take that whiff, and you hit that charcoal smell. And that's what it's going to be, that Vegas game. So I'm pumped, Rob.
Oh,
it's going to be a good year, man.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait, man. As always, man. Spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. I appreciate you again, DT, taking time out of your vacation. I really do appreciate it, man. You know I had to get this stuff off my chest. I wanted to just get a quick, instant reaction. Shout out to the Nickel City crew. Shout out to you guys checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube Live, excuse me. We appreciate you guys, your interaction with us tonight, as always. Oh, man, just hit them with a go Bills, man. Hit them with a go Bills. We're getting
go
so close,
Bills,
DT.
13-4, Bachelor Josh.
Oh, Bachelor Josh, I know. We definitely got to dig into that too sometime next week, man. We'll definitely holler. We'll be back next week. We'll kind of dig into the schedule a little bit more. And again, as we approach training camp, the draft's over now. Undrafted free agents have been signed. We really are starting to head towards Pittsford out there in Rochester and St. John's Fisher. Before you know it, they are going to be at camp in August. So for now, in the meantime, man, just enjoy it, man. Look at the schedule. Everything that DT said is exactly right. Look at the schedule, count up the wins, count up the losses. It doesn't matter. It's right now is the fun time of year. You can say that the Bills will be 17-0. You can say they're gonna be 16-1. That's up to you, man. I just want everybody to manage expectations. It'll be a tough year, a lot of tough opponents on the schedule, but man, you need a little bit of luck. Sometimes, you know, it just comes to you, man. You never know how the season is gonna going to play out. So I'm really excited, really eager. This is one of my favorite times of year, DT. I appreciate you, brother, man. I appreciate you joining me, man.
I love it, Rob. Thank you, man. It was another good episode, another good night. Always good to be with you.
All right, man. Be good, man. Enjoy your time. Safe trips back. Go Bills, man. Go Bills. Nickel City Crew.
Go Bills.